Tonight on KGW News, a warning after a 13-year-old is caught behind the wheel trying to dodge deputies.
Plus, I'm tracking what could be our first triple-digit heat wave of the summer. I'm going to break down your weather impact alert, not just for this Friday, but for the entire weekend.
Then, how Oregon and Washington lead the country when it comes to one specific kind of theft that could impact your access to the internet.
It is a direct attack on critical infrastructure.
And later, the Big Burger brand that's had diehard fans ready for months.
I've been waiting for this day all my life.
How long some waited for a first taste of Washington's first In-N-Out. Well, good evening, everyone. David Molko here with you on this clear and comfortable Wednesday night as we take a live look from our Wells Fargo sky camera. 68 degrees, though, over the next couple of days. We're expecting to see extreme heat to start to make its way in, which means starting Friday, we are issuing a weather impact alert. Let's get right to meteorologist Joe Ranieri. So, Joe, just how hot are we talking?
2 days with temperatures 100 degrees or above. Now, that's going to be Friday and Saturday, David. Now, this is the first time we've seen this stretch of heat, dangerous heat so far this summer. Tomorrow is going to be very manageable. I'm forecasting daytime highs right around 90 degrees, anywhere from, let's call it 88 to 92 degrees. That's the window. Come Friday, we're looking at record heat. I'm forecasting a high tomorrow or on Friday of 101 degrees. Come Saturday, we could be looking at 100 degrees. So the window for heat on Saturday and into Friday are anywhere from the upper 90s to low 100s. Because of that heat, we will be under an extreme heat watch starting Friday morning at 11. And this is going to stay in effect all weekend and the early part of next week. And there'll be some heat advisories down the central and southern part of the Willamette Valley. Regardless, it's going to be tough to escape the heat over the next couple of days. Now, weather headlines for your weather impact alert will be Friday through Sunday throughout the valley, throughout the gorge, and the east side of the state. Highs in the upper 90s to low 100s. Get plenty of water. We can't stress this enough. I know this is the time of year. There's a lot of sporting events as kids get ready to head back to school. I know a couple of coaches have reached out to me wondering just how hot it is. Well, you just saw dangerously hot. Try to get those plans done earlier in the day. So far this summer, we've only seen one time with temperatures 90 or above 3 days in a row. Typically, David, we see that multiple times this summer. So this is going to be our second round of really excessive heat and dangerous heat Friday, Saturday into Sunday, and we don't cool off until the early part of next week.
Yeah, those overnight lows aren't going to be a picnic either. All right, thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. And that 100-degree heat expected to line up with the mother of all relays. We are talking 19,000 runners giving it their all for Hood to Coast. Catherine Cook talked with race officials about what they are doing differently to make sure runners stay safe. Catherine?
And David, the biggest change is they're going to have ice packs and cooling towels available for runners at exchange points along the hottest parts of the course. Also, in their words, they are over communicating with runners to make sure they're prepared for the heat. Of those 19,000 runners, they're going to be representing all 50 states and 40 countries. And the message to all of them is hydrate early and often. Besides that, carry water and also make sure race vans are stocked with extra water and electrolytes. As they do every year, first responders will also be roaming the course, ready to address any issues, including heat-related illnesses. Chances are this year's participants will have run in every weather condition, but 100-degree heat just hits differently.
This weekend, it's all about us reminding them that run with water, check on people around you, slow the pace. Slow the pace, have a great time. The finish line is going to be there. We're going to keep it open. We'll be waiting for them.
Now, the first wave of runners leaves Timberline Lodge at 2:30 a.m. Friday morning, and 5 minutes after that. On Saturday, teams will cross the finish line in Seaside throughout the day, and then the party begins. Wishing everyone a safe race and a great time. David, back to you.
Yeah, our colleagues Alma McCarty, Evan Watson, part of the KGW team as well, hoping they can do it, make it to the finish line safely. Thanks, Catherine. By the way, the heat has already proven dangerous this summer. Multnomah County officials suspect 2 people died from heat-related illnesses just weeks ago. They are especially worried once again about seniors who live alone and may not have AC. To help, places like the Gresham Senior Center are inviting people in to cool off. The center offers programs and meals for people 50 plus, but anyone looking to escape the heat is welcome.
We want to get that message out, even late in the season. Don't tough it out. Try to find cool spaces.
Do not tough it out. County officials have not yet activated cooling centers, and they say they'll make that call closer to the heat wave. Stay with KGW, of course, for continuing coverage of the extreme heat. Look for updates to your forecast and the latest timing on our weather impact alert right here at KGW.com and on our free TV app. That is KGW Plus. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, some Evergreen public school employees will vote tomorrow on whether or not to strike just days before the school year starts. Paraeducators, bus drivers, and other classified staff rallied outside district headquarters today. They say their contract is about to expire and bargaining sessions since March have not ended in a deal. They are pushing, they say, for safer working conditions and higher wages. Evergreen officials say they have significant budget challenges. Well, Marine Drive in Northeast Portland is back open after a deadly crash this afternoon. Police say a car and motorcyclist collided just after 4 near 158th Avenue. First responders tried to save the motorcyclist, but they died at the scene. No word yet on the cause. A 13-year-old is accused of leading deputies on a chase with 5 other teens in the car. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says around 3:15 Sunday morning, a deputy tried to stop a driver on I-84 who they thought could be under the influence. That car, they say, sped off. Deputies eventually used spike strips and a pit maneuver to stop them.
Everyone on the scene was shocked to see that the driver was actually a 13-year-old kid. If that car had crashed, it could have been tragic.
Fortunately, no one was hurt. The teen driver, though, was arrested and faces several charges, including reckless driving. And crews in Lane County now have a fire under control that had hundreds under evacuation orders this afternoon. That fire sparked in a field near Sharon Road, just south of Eugene, and was threatening homes there. Firefighters say flames damaged some property, but they stopped the spread at 3.5 acres. All evacuation orders have now been downgraded to a level 1. Well, new tonight, speaking of blazes, crews responding to a grass fire at a homeless encampment last night along the Sandy River say they encountered a ton of trouble while just trying to do their jobs. Alma McCarty's in the newsroom. So Alma, sounds like this could have easily gotten out of control.
Yeah, certainly, David. I spoke with the Corbett fire chief this evening, and he says getting to this grass fire was extremely difficult. What with the various obstructions like ditches, barricades, barking dogs, and resistance from the folks who live there, who he says insisted they didn't want help from fire crews or sheriff's deputies. Using a drone, he says several residents of the camp known as 1,000 Acres along the Sandy River were seen actively working to suppress the fire burning near a makeshift structure. Ultimately, seeing that flames were dying down, firefighters didn't go into the camp and instead retreated, still keeping an eye on the situation from above until the fire was fully extinguished. But the chief says if the weather conditions had been different, this could have been a lot more dangerous, and this scenario demonstrates some of the issues that they're dealing with.
We need kind of a seat at the table with talking about fire protection down here. If indeed homeless encampments are going to continue down here, our recommendation, of course, would bring them out of the forest, which would diminish the threat of that. But if they are going to be down there, we need some sort of access to get in there and fight those fires.
He says it's especially a concern this time of year, of course, due to another couple of months of fire season, plus the winds in the gorge. Now, earlier this year, there were efforts to clear the property, which is owned by the Oregon Division of State Lands, but the campers stayed. David, back to you.
Hey, thanks, Alma. I appreciate your reporting there. Protests outside Portland's ICE facility have now essentially forced a school to move, citing chemicals and smoke wafting in the air and debris from munitions in their playground. The Cottonwood School of Civics and Science used to sit right next to the ICE facility in the South Waterfront. Now, the charter school is leasing space from Bridges Middle School that's about a mile away.
And people were saying we're not going to send them because we're next to the ICE building. Our garden was enveloped in gases one evening, and we started to think we might not be able to mediate this in the school year and open on time.
Well, teachers will need to quickly unpack and organize classrooms to be ready for the start of the school year. That is September 2nd. We're hearing from Providence Seaside tonight after its announcement to close its birthing center this October. Providence says patients in crisis can still access Seaside's emergency room, where all doctors are trained to deliver babies. The closest birthing centers, by the way, are both in Astoria, about 30 minutes away. Hospital administrators say the center only sees about 1 birth a week, half of what they saw a decade ago.
We're a tight-knit community, and we feel like our team here is like family. We have an amazing team of nurses, and so this is a sad decision to make, but we do believe that this is the right decision because of the low volume that we've seen.
Well, the closure will mean the loss of 12 nursing positions. In a statement, the Oregon Nurses Association, that's the union, slammed the move and says it's working to figure out what it's going to mean for those staff members.